must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Kenya is a model of peace, an island of peace in the region of turmoil. Kenya presents a unique position in the sense that the banking, the economic hub of the Great Lakes region, the ticking veins of this region remain here. Despite the few hiccups, Kenya has been the center of international conferences ranging from UN. Kenya is also equally the headquarters of one of the major offices of the United Nations in south of Sahara. The United Nations offices in Gigir present a position, a very unique position for this country called Kenya to take on the mantle to lead the other states within the sub-Saharan region for the year 2022. It is therefore very, very important for us to support the Kenyan people, the Kenyan nation, the Kenyan government in search for this slot. The question of my dear brothers of Djibouti, I am a Pan-African. But we have had countries in Africa that always violate African Union Charter and regulations. One of them is Morocco, which said for 32 years it was not a member of African Union until it saw its own isolation that it decided to apply to be readmitted in the African Union. Djibouti is a member of the African Union. We have quite a lot of things in common with Djibouti. We have educated some of their people here. We have close links. But Djibouti seemed to be taken and whipped, used to whip by one non-African state party that has captured the African Union. If you look at the countries, the 13 that voted for Djibouti, you can tell the story of why African Union has a very big problem and an uphill task in resolving and bringing unity amongst the African states. Therefore, Kenya remains one of the best contenders, and we want to encourage the people of the world to help to vote for Kenya. Thank you.
Hamjamboni, kwa majina naitwa Priscilla Mwikali Makau. Mimi ni daktari katika hospitali yetu kuu ya Mathare inayoshughulikia mambo na changamoto za akili. Wakati kama huu unaweza kupitia mambo mengi, wafikiria sana, mafikirio yako yako mengi, yanasongamana, magombana na watu. Tuomba uweze kutumia nambari 1199 ili uweze kupatana na mhudumu wa afya kwa upande mwingine. Pamoja tukomeshe corona.
My name is Bishop Dr. John Warari. I come to you to give you hope. 80% of those who have the infection are recovering. So we must not lose hope. Follow the instructions of the Ministry of Health. Simple instructions. 1, we have been told to sanitize, to clean our hands as often as possible. As you wash your hands, do it for about 20 seconds. That one will keep away and destroy the virus that could have been in your hands. It is important for us not to use our hands in greeting each other. For more information, kindly dial 719 and you will get help, or you can go to your phone and press *719# and you will get more information. Komesha Corona.
Today in Africa, we see a lot of uprisings, planning for uprisings, plotting for uprisings in several African countries. The events on the African continent, therefore, as predicted much earlier myself, in 2017, I said, before 2020, 13 African countries would have undergone either soft regime change, soft coups, or violent regime change through uprising, which now seem to be real. The signs that and the symbols that we see are the real symbols and the signs that more is to come against African governments. What do we do then? There is a new method of changing governments strategically placed in the United States of America by George Soros. George Soros funds civil societies, civil disobedience, civil violence in Africa. It is upon you Africans and African heads of state, wherever you are, as you plan to convene next month or before the end of this month in Addis Ababa, to understand the magnitude of this regime change strategy. Many wars are taking place, internal strife conflicts like the one in Cameroon, Amazonia, like the one in Biafra, Boko Haram, and then in Biafra, like the one in Libya. But the theme is the same. Regime change, uprising. Is it a matter of taking over our resources? You see, the war in Congo has erupted again. Unknown militias have arrived in Congo, restarted the war, and it is going on. this culminates to one thing. Are we ready to be independent? As I said last week, this week, are people in Africa ready to accept the results of elections? Elections everywhere in Africa are bringing the chaos we see. The people of Africa seem to be divided after elections or before elections. Is Africa ready for elections? Do we need elections in Africa? If so, are we tolerant enough to accept the results? Are we ready? Which method can we use in Africa to make sure that there is hope for the countries and there is hope and the future of Africa is guaranteed? Viewers, the High Court in Malawi today or yesterday was hearing a case when the president had already been sworn in. If the president of Malawi has been sworn in, then the High Court is hearing the case. Is that not a disaster, an accident in waiting? Whether this will make us have a peaceful Africa remains to be seen. And may God help us to build a better Africa. Thank you very much.
In the case of China, small reforms have been going on all the time in the political system. We fix problems here and there. But I said, problem is the United States. Your political system was a product of pre-industrial era. And I made a forecast. I said, without significant, substantial political reform, my concern is in your next elections, you will produce a leader worse off than George W. Bush.
Yes.
So then,
Yeah.
so it was you, it was not the Russians.
Yeah. So this is the Chinese humble advice we can offer. But China is a civilizational state. I remember when Henry Kissinger wrote his famous book on China, he started with this quote. He said, my goodness, look at this China. It's different. China uses this unique language, which started 3,500 years ago. It's 1,000 years earlier than ancient Greek, 1,005 years earlier than ancient Latin. But these two European languages were dead languages. Chinese still use the same language. This line of culture and continuation of civilization, uninterrupted. So this is why we have, indeed, for instance, this whole idea of meritocracy. Why I say confident? I said with my debate with Professor Fukuyama, I said, if you look at the top leadership in China, we've just had the party's Congress, minimum requirement, 2 terms of provincial governor or similar position, which means you have to govern at least 100 million people, given the size of China, before you came to one of the top 7 positions, decision-making bodies. I said to Fukuyama, I said, with this Chinese methodology, meritocracy-based system, we can say with certainty, we can improve the system. There are problems, we can fix it. But we will not produce any leaders like George W. Bush. It's way below the Chinese bar. That's my point.
Mimi naitwa Elio Dibio. Mimi ndio mwenyekiti wa Kamukunji Jua Kali Association. Nataka kusema kwamba hii ugonjwa wa coronavirus ni ugonjwa ambao uko na unashika kila mtu ambaye anaweza kuwa in contact na mtu mwingine ambaye ako nao ama amegusa kitu ambacho kimeguswa na mtu ambaye ako nayo.
Let us wash our hands. Let us keep the social distance given, at least 1 meter away from one another. Let us avoid all gatherings, unnecessary gatherings. People believe that sanitizer is the main thing to fight the scourge. Let us just use the soap we have at home, even the bar soaps. So long as we maintain the cleanliness that is required, We are going to fight this.
Ili tubambane na hii ugonjwa ni lazima unawe. Hiyo ndio sababu kama sekta tumeweka hizi mtungi kila mahali ya kunawisa mkono. Na tena tunasema ya kwamba ukiwa unafanya kazi hapa, ama wewe ni customer, ama wewe ni mpita njia, ukikuja lazima unawe. Hiyo ndio kusaidia na ndio kukinga hii ugonjwa.
Hii mitungi ya kunawia mikono, members wetu walichukua jukumu, wanatengeneza hizi mitungi na wanauza kwa bei nafuu, kwa sababu wanapotengeneza hii mitungi sio biashara tu ama pesa tunatafuta kwamba hii mitungi iweze kufikia kila mtu, ndio watu waweze kunawa mikono na waweze kujikinga na hii ugonjwa. Si serikali ambayo inaweza kutusaidia peke yake, ni sisi wenyewe pia tusaidiane kwa kufuatilia ile mambo ambayo tunaambiwa na serikali.
For more information, please dial 719 or *719 hash. You'll get help immediately from the relevant authorities, particularly from the Ministry of Health.
Pamoja tukomeze corona.
When President Uhuru Kenyatta thought of a nation, a peaceful nation, a united nation called Kenya, he scored highly to the international community and to Kenyans. When the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga thought of a nation called Kenya, he scored highly. It is that redemption strategy, the coming together of opposition and the government, the president and the former opposition leader, or the opposition leader of Kenya, that has made Kenya peaceful, united, working together to date. It is therefore very important for the people of Kenya to realize that the most important thing that every African looks at when talking about Kenya is peace. But what kills Kenya is tribal enclaves, bad elections, bad electoral mechanisms, bad political morals.
A very good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us. Another edition of Daytime Express, where we get to look at the news making headlines in Kenya here, and also we look at our topic of the day, and our topical discussion is impeachment, judiciary and NGO in Kenya. My name is Miriam Ogutu, and this is Punchline Africa Television, all the way from the Kenya's capital. And on the other side of the Political Command Center, I'm joined by Dr. David Matanga. Doctor, a very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam. Good morning, all of you viewers. Thank you very much for watching, and continue watching as we bring the Daytime Express to you, right from the Political Command Center of Punchline Africa Television. The rest, Miriam will do it. I'll come in to help.
All right. So, Doctor, before we get into the headlines this morning, and a lot is happening from that press conference the CJ had yesterday, and we shall look at that in a minute. But let's just go through the figures in the East African countries this morning and see how we're faring on in terms of the COVID-19. And we start with Kenya, where now the country has confirmed 2,872 cases. 85 people have died. 849 others have recovered. Uganda also, the figures there have gone just a little up. Confirmed cases right now in the country is at 646. 103 people have recovered, which is a good thing. And Tanzania still the same. We go to South Sudan, where the figures are still at 1,604. 19 people have died. Recoveries right now stands at 15. And Sudan cases are at 6,242, 372 deaths, 2,059 recoveries. And we go to Somalia, where right now the confirmed cases stands at 2,368. The death toll there is 84 and recoveries is 420. Rwanda, 451 cases have been confirmed, 2 deaths, 297 recoveries. And of course, we have to look at South Africa, being that it is the leading country here in Africa. And right now, I see the figures there have hit 50,000, and it stands at 50,879 cases. 1,080 people have died. 26,099 others have recovered. And in Africa, generally, right now, we're looking at 190,000 cases, 767. Doctor, we see there in Kenya, we're about to get to the 3,000 mark there.
We shall get to even a higher level, because the peaking point is coming. If you see the comparative demographics of the entire world, you will know that there is a peaking point, and that peaking point comes usually when the disease is ripe, when more people start misbehaving, when you open up, when people neglect the masks, which must always be nearby, like this, when they wear them differently and they walk in public, they don't wash their hands, that peaking point is coming. But with the measures that the government has put in place, we seem to be doing so far so well, and we seem to be, the rate of recovery is improving.
Yes.
And it even making us happy. If you see of almost 900 people have recovered out of the 2,000, then you know something has been working. If you see also hospitals are looking for patients, then you would know that most of the restrictions are working, because usually you get nightclubs, churches. On Sundays, accidents happen, huge ones. People are rushing to church. People are rushing to nightclub. People are leaving nightclubs. People are rushing to pick children. Accidents, naturally, on road and safety regulations. If you have read road and safety regulations, you will understand that students are knocked down, motorists have accidents between the hours of very early in the morning and 3 to 4 to 5. That's when they go to collect their children from school in a rush to return to close the offices, to go to the offices. So some of these things are not there at the moment. And that is why you see the figures are still like they are. But as we go in the 30 days, the figures, looking at studying the map of the world, and comparatively, Kenya has done what we call omnibus operations, which some countries are doing now, some. Remember, Uganda did not start with an omnibus situation, home care, preparation of those to go home. Uganda is struggling where to put those they are sending back home. Kenya did it all. That if you are sent home, somebody will follow you. If you are not accepted, you will be received somewhere else. Uganda, some of the patients in Uganda at the moment are not being accepted in the family. in the clans, in the villages. Stigmatization is at the highest. So Kenya, thank you for doing omnibus clearance. We go at the same time. But the bad behavior in Kenya, the bad behavior of people not respecting wearing masks, distance, washing hands, wanting nightclubs, drinking at home, mixed in compounds, calling their friends for parties and mixing at night, then pretend to be very good during the time. Is what the problem is, Miriam.
All right, and we saw yesterday the country recorded the highest numbers of patients who have been discharged under 24 hours, and the ministry, Kenya yesterday recorded the highest number of recoveries since the outbreak of the COVID-19 in the country. Yesterday, the Ministry of Health announced that 97 COVID-19 patients have been discharged from various facilities after recovering. So that is a good news. That is something to celebrate.
Yes, you celebrate, but we should not over-celebrate because we still have a long way to go. We have over 35 million people to 38 that need testing. If this medicine is not found, we shall live with this disease. We are going to live with it like people have lived with HIV. So the earlier the scientists come up with a solution, Miriam, the better for the people of Kenya and Africa. The better for everybody. But at the moment, why we are hanging on is, one, the restrictions of airports not opening. Because once you open your airport, you will not tell somebody in China not to come to Kenya. He will get into the plane and arrive in Nairobi. Reason, I want to see Mara. Reason, I want to go to Mombasa. You won't tell him Mombasa is closed. You know? Okay, if he says, okay, if it is closed, let me stay around Kenya. I'll go back. That is going to happen. We shall see the increase of numbers when these airports open, when the train opens, when Shuji buses start traveling between Mombasa, Malaba, Busia, Kampala. That will be the time. If we open too early, we shall see the influence. Thank you.
Right, and now it has emerged that a quarter of Nairobi coronavirus cases are in Kibra constituency. And does this surprise you, Doctor? A quarter of Nairobi cases that have been reported are from Kibra constituency. Is this a surprise?
It's not. I'm not surprised. This was bound to happen. It was bound to happen, and it will happen. If we are not careful and we have community reproduction, that's it. We might have a big community reproduction. That's why the president is saying, please, let's look at ourselves. This disease, you don't die alone. You don't die with another person. You die alone. Whether you love your child to what extent that God can see you love him or her, she will be buried alone. Because you don't know the timetable that you will go to be buried together in the grave. Unless it's an accident that has killed all of you. But even killing all of you, unless they kill her first, then you watch her being killed. You want to know she has died. Because death comes at any time. And this death does not segregate a Ugandan, a Kenyan. It doesn't. So it doesn't matter who is speaking. People who are speaking about Kenya, Tedros is an Ethiopian. but he's speaking about Kenya. So when you find our friends like Joseph Ochenge talking about Kenya, Kenya is in a worse situation as far as COVID is concerned. And Uganda is not in that worse situation. Nobody has died in Uganda. And that type of mentality is retrogressive. We have a problem, I think. People are not hearing us or what?
No, it's okay. Our viewers, I see there, Sadaraka, Benneth, Stephen, you're saying you're not able to hear us. Are you able to hear us? Now, if not, please let us know so that, but I'm told from the production there that everything is okay. So now, Doctor, the Ministry of Health there is now saying that people over a certain age are supposed to be walking around wearing the N95 mask. Where is that story? Because that will protect them more. These other masks people are wearing, the fabric ones and the hospital ones, they are not very effective to a certain older generation. I think they said over 60 around there, so they should wear the N95 masks. I don't know how many. They're saying N95 is the most protective mask because it has been made in such a way that it is used in situations where the protection is necessary. I don't know how many of our elderly will be able to afford the N95. The last time I checked, that thing costed about nearly 1,000 shillings. I don't know how many of our people who require this will be able to afford that. Maybe just encourage them to stay at home, especially in the villages. If they don't have to go anywhere, just stay at home and protect yourself.
Thank you. Just stay home. Well, some of us are staying home. Why do I mangering in town? To look for what? Stay at home. If possible, try other means. Send the people to collect what you want. And unless it is necessary, that is a court appearance or a doctor's appointment, that wound would break. If you don't go to town, then you can't go to town. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So we look at hope in COVID war. As you said there, Kenya yesterday recorded a high number of recoveries in 24 hours with 97 people having declared coronavirus negative. And now on the front pages there before we, all right, I think we just get into the headlines now. On the Daily Nation, Doctor, that's where I am this morning. On whose side are you? CJ Maraga asks Uhuru, and he continues to say Chief Justice accuses President Kenyatta of disobeying court orders and going against the Constitution by failing to appoint 41 judges.
Miriam, this is a very interesting Maraga is not on the side of the people of Kenya. Maraga, yesterday I did my best and I've lost my voice because of Maraga. I told the Kenyans, I want to ask Kenyans one question. Those who are in Nakuru during the post-election violence, there was a judge by name Maraga, David Maraga. And I want the president and the deputy president to sit down in their houses and think. What took place when the International Criminal Court used Kenya's failure to prosecute those who committed crimes in the country. The huge number of the people that were released in coordination with NGOs and the George Soros workmen like Maina Kiai in the Rift Valley were released by David Maraga. Was the presiding judge in Nakuru. So the hatred for these guys, and for me, I don't have anything to fear. What? What will Maraga do? Me, I've talked the truth. Was he not in Nakuru? Didn't he release all post-election violent people and said they had no case to us? It is Maraga. In coordination with NGOs. And Maraga has been working with NGOs all the time. The only problem that Kenyans have is they don't read. They read Matanga, a foreigner. All of them. Most of them read me as a foreigner. Fine, I am. But I tell you, you will need me tomorrow. You will need me tomorrow again. As long as I'm alive like this, you will need me. I'm telling you today, the way things are going, you will need me again. And let me stand firm and tell you that Maraga is not part of this country. Maraga got his money a long time ago. If you think Maraga is working for Kenya, then you are very derailed mentally. To be very honest. Because I've never seen a man who is going to retire in 6 months who would antagonize the president whom he has served with for 7 years. Have you ever seen one, Miriam? Have you? I'm asking.
Have I not seen a judge that is antagonizing? Well, this is a situation that we've not seen in the country. So it's a new. We've not seen a situation where the president is.
I'm asking the question: Is there any person who is going to retire in 2 months or 3 months? Then you start destroying the whole office. Surely, you are about to retire in 6 months. Then you come and damage the thing that you have built for 6 years. We have to prepare ourselves that there is a problem here. You like it, you don't like it. These are the things, Miriam especially, you are going to be discussing this topic.
Later, yes.
These topics are going to be given for you people to discuss. I might not be here. And they will need openness, because this TV is not any other TV. We speak openly. We are not speaking without facts. It is a fact that Dr. James David Maraga was a presiding judge in Nakuru. And as a presiding judge, you know, he released all the people who were purportedly to have been, even when the prosecutors tried to say, my friend, there is this one, we saw him cutting this one. This one, please cut this one. Nobody. He released all of them. But at that time, people in Kenya did not know the mechanisms of NGOs. And that's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point. This television helps the president. We don't want to care whether you like it or you don't like it. We are here to help, to bring peace in this country. Even if there are 2 people watching, I'll continue speaking. I'm not here to glorify people. And I will continue talking to defend the president. There's nothing that the president of the Republic of Kenya has done. Under executive order, he proposes. He proposes what is supposed to be done. There's nothing he has done. There is a problem. Maraga wants to create chaos. Look at the people Maraga has lined up. A stupid man called Harvey, Nelson Harvey, a Congolese, whose identity card is doubted, is busy telling people to impeach the president. Yes, I did not come in my mother's womb. My mother produced me in Uganda, and I'm happy that way. Call me any name you want. But I have no doubt, nobody will doubt me, that Matanga came from Rwanda or from Sudan. But they are telling they impeach the president. If they impeach the president in this country, there will be chaos. That's why some of us are talking with our voices, that some people can listen. My role is to protect the president. I have no other regrets. If nobody wants, I'll remain alone, protect. After all, people wanted him to be jailed. But they're enjoying the fruits today. That's the point. My creation of this television was that. I have no other agenda. To defend the president, his work, his agenda, supplement what he does. And I'm going to do it voluntarily. Because he's a good man for Pan-Africanism. I don't care about any type of stupidity or journalism. Nobody is going to tell me what to do. I will defend my president. Because I feel Kenyatta is being fixed in a corner where NGOs are coming to go and destroy him. They have all. Look, from yesterday, you listed the number of NGOs or people who lined up on Twitter. How many? Makau Mutua, Murukomen, David Ndii, Willie Mutunga, all of the NGOs, Nelson Harvey, all of them started supporting the president of the Supreme Court, Mr. Maraga. So, where is the president? Who supports him? If all NGOs are aligning behind the president of the court, of the Supreme Court, CJ Maraga, so we'll defend Uhuru Kenyatta.
But
how much money has Maraga, Miriam, how much money has Maraga spent? Look at the records. It is well documented there. There's research. And again, how much money Maraga has spent.
Yes, but also, Doctor, on the Star newspaper here, it's now being revealed that actually President Uhuru Kenyatta was to pick judges next week before the CJ attack. So President Uhuru Kenyatta was actually in the process of picking these judges, and that was scheduled to happen next week, according to the Star newspaper. So will the president go ahead and pick these judges, or this attack by CJ, will it change the president's mind?
Let me tell you, under the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, the president is well protected. The JSC recommends, hello, and let's be knowledgeable people. The JSC recommends. And when the JSC recommends, what happens? The president just comes from Angel Gabriel and assigns, even without reading. Surely, Trump let's look at the democracy, developed democracy. The Queen in the United Kingdom. Let's use the Queen because when you use Trump, people will say he's a madman. Let's use the Queen. Mm-hmm. The Queen of the United Kingdom does not, and I repeat, does not just say, bring the pen, close the eyes, sign. No. There is a whole setup of Her Majesty's tough advisors. Her Majesty, if the Prime Minister of Britain wants to go to war, he quietly goes to the Queen to ask whether the Royal Navy should go to war. He doesn't stand at the footsteps of 10 Downing Street with legs small as maragas, showing us the legs, how tall you are, and start insulting the Queen, or how big you are, Mr. Boris Johnson, how big you are. You insulted the Queen and say, I am sending troops to Iraq. I don't care. No, madam, no. Recommending is different. If you recommend, the JSC recommends the list to the president. It is like the National Assembly takes the act to the president, a bill ready for signature. The president has a right to see what is correct for the Kenyan people. If the president finds a judge who has been doing drugs, who has been mentioned in the what are these men in the U? What are they? The ones in the United States.
Forgotten their names, but those ones from Mombasa, yes, that were not, they failed to be tried in Kenya. The Akasha brothers.
The Akasha brothers.
Yes.
You have been a judge in Mombasa. You have been recommended to go to the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. You have been recommended to go to the Appeal Court. You have been one of those recommended widely. The president receives intelligence reports. The government president of the Republic of any country gets intelligence reports about Miriam, Matanga, everybody. So if the president has doubts, you should decide and allow a drug peddler judge who releases prisoners who used to give the Akasha bail every day until they killed over 1,000 people. Over 1,000 people died of their drugs. It's a crime against humanity, Miriam. How many people were shot around the coast? How many were thrown in the ocean whose bodies have never been found? How many? I want Kenyans to say I am a foreigner. Thank you. But I will talk anywhere on planet Earth. I will even talk better. Because I will not have a tag. My tag will be the brain. Not nationality, where I come from. So I don't mind now. Let me tell you frankly, nobody is going to accept to sign a document without scrutiny. Yes. Without scrutiny, nobody. The president under the Constitution, this one here, I can quote the article very well, even well written. There's no need of standing here telling lies that the president did this, the president that did. No. Let's quote the article. Where the president was able, under the Constitution. What Constitution? If you look at that is another one. If you look at the article that of the Constitution that helps how judges are selected. Article 172 of the Constitution, 1A, mandates the JSC to recommend to the president, to recommend to the president. I'm reading the article here. I'd forgotten it a bit. I'm sorry, this morning I can now use your Constitution, because usually I cram it and I come with it. But today, for avoidance sake of doubting Thomases, who said Jesus was still not alive, let me read Article 172 of the Kenyan Constitution says, Miriam, the Judicial Service Commission shall promote, facilitate the independence and accountability of the judiciary and efficient, effective, transparent administration of justice, and shall recommend, mark the what? Anybody who has done English, forget about Nelson Harvey or, Makonde English. Listen to men who have gone to school and recommend to the president persons for appointment as judges. What is the key word there? What's the key word? Tell me. What is the key word?
And Maraga says he already recommended these 41 judges to the president.
Yes, recommend. So, recommend. You don't look, the JSU, JSC, which people, lawyers like Harvey and others are quoting, does not appoint finally. If they had the powers, they would appoint. Then why do they send the names to an extra authority? So the president is an extra authority. And the president of Republic of Kenya, Miriam, does not rubber stamp just for the sake. He has international intelligence, local intelligence, police files, crime intelligence, which all goes to the State House. And while in the State House, he looks at the intelligence of judge number X. For example, the judges who were in Mombasa, who gave Akashas bail every morning, every evening, even at midnight. They used to go back to the office to sign the bail. You remember when Kenya was not even working 24 hours? You want to appoint them? Answer me, you are Kenyan. Then I can move on.
So the issue there, Doctor, you're raising, I've also seen it here. I'm reading on the Star newspaper, page 4. So the president is reported to have agreed to appoint judges who did not have integrity issues and to address budget issues raised by Maraga at that time. The appointments were to be made next week. We are surprised by the statement by Maraga, a senior appellate judge aware of the plans, said. Now, some members of the JSC said they were not aware of the content of Maraga's statement. So these are people who are also part of the high your JSC there, and they're saying they're actually aware of the plans by the president to appoint these judges. But President Uhuru Kenyatta is said to be having issues with some judges who had integrity issues there, and so that perhaps had delayed the appointing of these 41 judges, because you're saying I can't appoint all of them because some of them have integrity issues.
Yeah, because he's doing intelligence. He has told them he's not going to. They went to court. Why did they run to court quickly? They used NGO money to run to court. You know who ran to court? Harvey. Nelson Harvey ran to court because he wants to fix Uhuru Kenyatta. They went and bought again. I want to bring another problem. The Deputy Chief Justice was caught on charges of money laundering. If Kenyans want to speak the truth, any judge in the world, even when they tell you pierced the child's ear, your own child, and one of the workers in the house tells the public, you resign. Why is the Deputy Chief Justice still in place? Why? I'm waiting for an answer. Why? Someone called Maraga went and appointed a 5-man judge, a bench, to listen to what? No, to listen to what? To listen. You are a deputy. You go to Nakuru Hotel. You fight with your husband. JSC. Surely JSC has to arrest you or police. The Chief Justice was driving a car, and I said the driver was driving. So where did the Chief Justice go? Police. He did not go to JSC because the crime was committed. So why should the Deputy Chief Justice be taken to JSC when he has been caught with letterheads asking bank loans using? It's a crime. It's now not an internal problem. It's a crime. Borrowing money from a terrorist group which has been banned in Uganda and in London. This evidence was brought. It is there on record. Maraga stole it, appointed a 5-man bench. Can a forest cut a monkey, or a monkey cut a forest? Then you are blaming Uhuru Kenyatta.
So an office like the Office of the Public Prosecutions or DCI are the ones who are supposed to have taken on the investigations, because this was a criminal, yeah.
Exactly. They denied the DPP. That young man of mine, he was denied. He brought a man with a long beard from Mombasa to do the case. You heard the argument because of Maraga. What truth has Maraga got? What truth has that Maraga is a liar? I swear he lied to Kenyans. He has fabricated so many things. Let him not open a Pandora box. They connived. Who was the person who went to court? Who was the person? Nelson Harvey. Nelson Harvey went to court to force the government not to allow with the Orengo because they were highly paid. The judges were, the advocates were highly paid. That the deputy chief justice who bites the ear of the husband in a hotel in Erengoya Marakwet or Kisumu, the matter has to be taken to JSC. Hey, Kenya. That matter has to go to JSC. Instead of the deputy resigning, saving the name of the court, she's still there. You see her smiling among the bench. You can call all of us, our countries are rubbish. It's all right, but she's smiling, she's there.
And yesterday when the CJ was speaking, he said that he challenged the executive to table before the JSC the alleged information of lack of integrity it had against some of the 41 nominees. However, no evidence was availed to the JSC both during and after the interviewing process.
Why was the Chief Justice alone? Why? You're a journalist. You should have found out. Why was he lonely? Even the wind could blow him. Because the rest of the JSC refused. The rest of the JSC except the Butulika called Nelson Harvey.
Yes, a lot of them are said to have not been agreeing with the content of the statements made by the
statement to the president.
The CJ, yes.
People disagreed. People walked away as he went down. Even the registrar of the High Court, Mrs. Amadi of the Supreme Court, did not appear. This is a Lone Ranger who wants to justify George Soros' money, which was banked in Hungary and other accounts in Europe after nullifying the election in 2017. He's on a mission to destroy this country, to destroy Uhuru, that he leaves no legacy for Kenyans. Kenyans, you will need me. I might go away, but you will need me. I swear, you will need me one day. You are killing this country. We are going these meetings, this Machiavellian politics of meeting the Chief Justice at night by some people, instigating him to bring a war between him and the president so that George Soros can come in safely, pay people money to impeach the president. I am telling you, you are going towards disaster. We have COVID-19. It's already too much for all of us. Do we need an extra shutdown now?
Right, and also he took a jab at the AG, that is the Attorney General Kihara Kariuki, accusing him of always filing notices of appeals but not taking any further action. The AG, as is now his practice, filed notices of appeal, but he has not done anything to prosecute the appeals from the two decisions of the court. Neither has he obtained any stay of execution of the orders of the court. So he seems to be having a lot of issues with even the Attorney General of the country, Mr. Kihara.
Let me tell you, the Chief Justice has never liked the AG. You know their fight. from the judiciary itself. So I am not surprised with a serious statement. Miriam, whatever I talk here, I have evidence. I don't talk without evidence. They don't like each other. Who is supposed to give stay orders? Who? The Attorney General himself? The Attorney General has to go and write a stay order, or the stay orders are given by the same judges that Maraga has told not to give stay order. There's a reason they are quiet. Maraga controls the judges. And if he says don't give stay order, you will not get it. Because it has come from Kihara, whom he doesn't like during those days.
So they have a history.
There is a history, like a history, like a Chief Justice Maraga history in Nakuru. He hated, the two men were hated. The two main suspects that ICC zeroed on lastly, Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto, were never liked by Maraga and the NGOs. I am surprised that William Ruto does not see this. He thinks it is Uhuru's fight. But brother, it's your fight. These are the same people, 2008, 2009, they wanted you to rot in jail. And unfortunately, you have given them a lot of money. Even some have bought helicopters flying around with you. But again, the ICC is not yet gone. You will need some of us alive. You will pray for some of us to make more noise. Because this one, when it comes this time, it will be messy. That's all I can say. Because for me, I was here. I'm not reading history. I saw what happened. I know the judge who was in Nakuru is the judge you promoted to a full Chief Justice. He's finishing his job when he's at the top, and he has fixed Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. He wants it destroyed. If there is anything, any more word to add on or to remove, I don't think I can remove. The guy is out to fight the president. I have read you the section that protects the president. The president is not out of law. It's within the law that the names that are recommended to him, he doesn't necessarily sign all those names. What Maraga should have done was to struggle to see out of the 40, how many are criminals, how many have taken bribes, how many are linked to Akasha family. Instead of coming to the stairs of the Supreme Court, lecturing nonsense with no English, he better go back to school to study governance. Sorry.
All right. And
I've not insulted anybody. I'm simply saying the level of governance education is small. Because if you don't know that the president is the head of state, of government, and you are under government, you are one arm of government, then it is school of governance is just where here, Kabete. Yeah, go for evening classes and get a PhD, Dr. Maraga. It's a very simple PhD. In fact, with you, people will do exams for you. The Kenyan way. Some people's exams are written at night. Yeah. Niko na list tena itakushow.
Doctor, we shall
Yes.
talk about more about Maraga at 11, so let's not finish everything. But I'd like to hear your opinion about two leaders here, two politicians in the country who now are having other issues. Wetangula on the verge of losing Ford Kenya top job, and Duale is a dead man walking. That is the Daily Nation and the Star. So in the Daily Nation, it says a petition signed by 126 MPs seeking to remove top Ruto ally Aden Duale from the position of the leader of majority in the National Assembly hangs around his neck. His fate is now in the hands of only Jubilee Party leader President Kenyatta, and I am not sure if President Kenyatta is very open to retaining Duale. So Duale's, petition there is looming, and also Moses Wetangula is crying here, saying that there's some leaders conspiring for him to be removed there, and now he is at the verge of losing Ford Kenya top job. We were supposed to talk about this yesterday in the afternoon, but we did not have the show. So what do you make of that turn of events?
Is the party leadership permanent job?
It's not, I believe.
It's a Security Council slot. Is it a Security Council slot? The party leadership is not a permanent Security Council job.
Permanent members there. Only
yes.
5. Yeah, the rest non-permanent. Yes.
It's not. So it is up for grabs. Anybody, after 10 years, Moses has been at the helm of Ford Kenya. You have failed to secure 2 elections. You have going to join hands with the Raila Code and the Raila NASA. Don't you think your leadership qualities have evaporated? Does that answer your question? Why don't you leave it for somebody else? Why do people criticize Museveni that he has overstayed when in their political parties they have even overstayed? In Kampala we have Mr. Besigye. He has contested for 4 elections. Out of this, the cheating must have been there, yes. Fine. There is no African election where cheating does not take place, except South Africa. Because South African system, you can even vote when you are blind. Because there is a proportional representation system, Miriam, that an MP must be selected, a good man. The most unfortunate one is Marema slipped through. But according to the people of Limpopo, province where Marema comes from, he's a viable man. Where Tangura has been in power for 10 years. Join the code, join the NASA. Time has come to move on and give the leadership to Onyonka, who is your vice, and sit back and see. Go and contest. If you want to contest for governorship of Bungoma, but you have surrendered, shown an example of leadership, why do you want to die there? What's the difference between that leader and Idi Amin, who said, until God calls me, I'm the vice president of Republic of Uganda, conqueror of the British Empire, commander-in-chief of all commanders of Africa, the hero of Lake Victoria. The water is me who created it.
He actually believed that. It's a good thing. He would have taken even the one for my people. It's good that he was removed. Doctor, yes, the Standard newspaper.
You remember Idi Amin wanted to come
claim.
up to Naivasha.
Yes.
He said there are some Ugandans who left through Garaba and Busia.
That will be me.
And they went to Lake Victoria. So he needed them back.
He needed me back.
Yes. You would have grown in Uganda and you would not be calling me a foreigner.
Who was called you? I have not called you a foreigner.
No, people,
that is, yes.
not you, but the people in Kisumu
yes.
and Kenya, most of them call me a foreigner.
So you wanted to come for us.
But Idi Amin was looking for his people.
We escaped.
No, the ones in the northern Uganda speak the same language. Like those near the lake, which I created. So you remember Idi Amin saying he is the creator of the lake.
So he came searching for descendants there.
Anything around the lake for younger people who are watching this film, this show about history, is that the lake was Idi Amin's
creation.
So he wanted Matanga of the other side of Uganda to be linked with Mudavadi. So he came to annex the whole country up to Naivasha, near the Lake Naivasha.
And what did former president?
Naivasha in the middle.
He tried it. And what did Kenyatta tell him?
The other one belongs to Kenyatta, and this one belongs to us. Honestly, the guy was meaning business, and he's assembled troops around the Uganda-Kenya border, assembling them. Before Mzee Kenyatta died. That's why the late President Kenyatta gave us bases to fight Idi Amin because of those statements. Previously, he had not listened. When Moi took over, the threat became real. The threat, I am telling you history, the threat of annexing Kenya became real. That's why we rebels, me included, and others, Save Uganda movement, we were here in 78, 79, 79, we are very many here operating in Webuye, in Kitale. We had many there. Because Moi was, I mean, when the Mzee died, who threatened him, said, you touch Kenya, we shall go with you.
Yes, our first president, Kenyatta, was no joke. Yes.
Then Moi took over, he said, this Moi now is weak. We go for
and people underestimated Moi until he unleashed the and ruthlessness, because people underestimated him. He was very quiet and put together and all that. But they tried him and they saw.
No, it is not only telling bad news of Maraca. Let's at times tell some good news for our viewers who don't know history. So Kenya,
yes,
literally, when you see leaders annexing your property, they have that ambition. They said there are some people up there who look like a Miriam. They better return home.
I mean, came looking for my.
Thank you very much.
Me.
They look like a Miriam. Return home.
Yeah, and our first president said no. Miriam belongs here. You know, and that's okay.
Yeah. It is a sad thing that Africa, we have leaders of that nature.
But Idi Amin was obnoxious, yeah.
Anyway, on the second question you asked of Duale, my friends in Jubilee, because I'm not a member of Jubilee Party, but I'm a friend of Jubilee Party. It is true, Duale is very close to William Ruto. They are even business associates.
Oh, it's deep.
Yeah. But on this one, Mr. President, stand firm. Let's not fight too many enemies. We have another enemy added there called Maraga. Now we have another enemy called Harvey Nelson, the man who oils hair like a woman every morning. He doesn't know where a barber shop is. So we have a problem, Your Excellency. You know, when you look at Harvey, you think it's a woman. So we don't know. But there's a problem here. I am a man, so I have no problem. You can call me any names. But
maybe Jeff Koinange inspires him to have that,
that
nice hairstyle.
Don't go there. Let me finish this duality. I have not told you the story how Jeff Koinange's hair.
He used to have dreads, and I used to watch him on CNN, yes.
No. How Jeff Koinange's hair was going to make him be assassinated by firing squad in Khartoum. And he's watching.
His hair.
He never tells. He's one of those who doesn't tell the truth. He's a very pathetic liar. He does not tell the real story. He has never told you in his book, when he wrote in his book, he forgot one incident when I found him in Khartoum, at Khartoum International Airport, arrested. That stupid Koinange there. Arrested like this. With 3 other white CNN. They had hired a plane. They went to Darfur. Can you see what this bad man, whom Koinange calls a bad man today, is the bad man who saved him?
So they've gone to Darfur to cover the story at Darfur.
With the permission of the Sudan government. So when the plane was monitored, Bashir ordered for the occupants of the plane to be impounded and arrested, to find them, the Americans. So they said, Americans. So here we had arrived at Khartoum Airport. And I knew Koinange. I know Koinange is a Kenyan. So we are being met by the Minister of State for Security.
In Sudan.
In the name of God. Here, this Soro talking. Let him say I did not save him. He will not be talking here with that big voice. Now that he doesn't like me to be on his shows on Citizen. But he would be dead. Then I asked the minister, why are these people handcuffed? This guy is a Kenyan. The Minister of State for Security of Sudan, who was meeting us at the airport in Khartoum, said, excuse me, let's go back. Let the guests wait. Let the cars wait. He said, which one? I said, this one is a Kenyan. See this man there, I said, he's a Kenyan, Mr. Minister. He's not an American. You know, I caused chaos there. I said, I cannot go inside and leave this young man here. Because we were going to see Bashir. We had been summoned by Bashir. Yes, I was the head of the delegation. Don't ask me what I was going to do there. This 1998, 1947. Hey, I refused. I said, release this guy. Is he not alive today? Does he give me even 1 shilling to drink tea?
Doctor, I'll give you 1 shilling
Honest,
to drink tea. I don't
the
know.
minister now released, Miriam,
Yes.
the minister released and they said the Americans, no. Those Americans, no release. This one, where are you going? Which passport did you have? Oh, I'm Kenyan. I went. What followed behind orders? Release Koinange. That is friendship. He never even, he documented everybody, but he forgot. So when you call me for his inauguration,
For the
I
launch,
put up my hand.
for the launch of the book, yeah.
His book. I put up my hand and I said, what about the incident in Khartoum? Oh, you see how bad they are? Bad people always die bad.
And yes, and Doctor, very important information here on the frontline pages of the Standard newspaper about also bad people. I don't know, faces that speeded up divorce. Have you seen the Standard this morning? And they're saying free fall. The Jubilee marriage was already on the rocks.
My face is not there.
But the tanks, acts, and the omissions of these men and women tipped the scales for the Uhuru dream. So we see on one side Raila Odinga, Atuoli, Raphael Tuju, Jubilee, deputy chairperson there, Kibicho, and also on this other side we see Ruto Murkomen. Murkomen seems to be the, the problem there, as they put it. He is one of the people who speeded up the problems in the friendships between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto, according to this story.
Yes, because he's a thief. He's the head of Sky Team. Murkomen is the head of Mafia Sky Team that went around collecting money from parastatals, flying in a helicopter with Kindiki, using the president's name to con people. Where? Why do you hide now? What will they do? They are useless. Waliiba a lot. Even my own money. Let them say they were not told to give me money. Let them say now. I'm not a told man. I'm a brain. I work quietly. And when you try me quietly, Miriam. I'm bad news. Don't ever come like that. I am happy. I am the happiest man in Kenya today.
Why?
For having seen Murkomen go down under Kindiki. They are thieves. They stole my money. They know what they did. There is another thief whom I am working on quietly until he also gets embarrassed. The one who caused us Maraga, who brought Maraga to government. They ate my money. I would not be killing my voice here. Yeah. So the head of Sky Team tells lies. But you know one good thing about this? This is the man who wrote 42 pages to imprison William Ruto for lies. Anything else? Bring it. The dictionary is here. I make the morning so nice for people to see our television. Miriam, yesterday, I received 27 private messages. Even people offering to buy my television. 2 came from United States of America. The one came from United Kingdom. Why? I want to tell you, to congratulate all of you, that this station tells the truth. They don't know the pain we go through with the risk we take. So they said, because you tell the truth, the man in the United Kingdom is from Biafra. He's a multimillionaire based in the United Kingdom. He sells computer software to almost every African country. He told me, I just want it. Why? Then he said, I want to buy you also. Because we said the truth. Have you seen why the deputy president digs his grave? All the time, self-inflicted. How do you bring a man who wrote that to Ocampo, that you created a network of elders and cleansed yourself in Kapisiua? Then today, you bring him to be your right-hand man. Are you mad? You bring another man from Gatundu South who talks to you at night during the time, and at night he has gone somewhere to report. Have you seen his name up here? Is he on the list?
He's not. And the faces that were speeded up divorce. Yeah.
Do you have eyes or ears? Hear me. That's the man who brought witnesses.
His face should be here. His
Where?
face should be on the...
He's not there.
He's not here. It should be here, though.
Because he's an agent. He's not yet finished with you. He wants to finish the job. Then he goes around to say, Uhuru, finish him. Where is his name here? Where is his picture here? And you give him money, you buy helicopter, you buy everything in him. Is this the man? So you dig your own grave. I want to make it clear that for us, and I want to be on the side of every journalist on this, we did not say that the Peter president stole money from Cameroon or Error. We said that the deputy president, like me, we said, how did he know it was not 21, but it was 7?
He defended.
And if that 7 had a bank guarantee, Mr. Deputy President, where is the money? Corona is over in Italy. Can you go and write as a Deputy President, bring back this 7 billion? At least it will start the dam. We didn't say he stole the money because we had no evidence. But the people who had the evidence are the DCI, who paraded 100 men with blankets and the spoons and the suka and the toilet paper and the cream and the sijui what, saucepans. They were there at the DCI. Each one wrote a statement to say I was instructed to buy bed sheets. I was instructed to buy cutlery. I was instructed to buy China plates.
Actually, they were the suppliers. A lot of them were traders who did not know.
So,
yeah.
Please, mtukufu
Naibu wa Rais. Yes.
Makamu Rais. Sisi wanahabari tunaandika kuandika, lakini tunaandika hiyo ambayo inatoka kwa mdomo yako, ndio ulitoa kwa mdomo yako, na clip ambayo iko tunaweza play. Can we play that clip as a send off, please? Because Miriam, we journalists, all of you included, we are being accused. Can Stephen play that clip of what the Deputy President said, so that we are exonerated? We are not the ones where the trouble is. We don't know. All what I know, I said. I said, and I repeat, sack the Minister of Finance, sack the Minister of Agriculture. Didn't I say that? That one, if you are choosing me, I will even plead guilty before I arrive at the court. But on the question of Cameroon, whatever it is, I don't know. Stephen, play for us, and we say bye-bye to Miriam.
All right. All right.
You've heard, for example, that, the government has lost 21 billion in Kimwarer and Aror Dam, which is a flat lie. The money in question is about 7 billion. And for every coin that has been paid, we have a bank guarantee. No money will be lost because we are a responsible government. We have engaged every arm of government to make sure that public resources are safe, and therefore the correct information must be used as we target the fight against corruption so that we can nail the true culprits. Sometimes when we say 9 billion has been lost, and then when it goes to court, it is 100 million. The public is asking, what happened to 8.1 billion? So we shoot ourselves in the foot.
They are showing Deputy President William Ruto, and I think when he made these statements, that is when he, he was people started associating him with the scandal there, the dam scandal. I think if he never made these statements, nobody would have associated him with this scandal. So, but it's good that we've cleared the air, Doctor.
So, Mr. Deputy President, on the question of Cameroon and Error, for us, we did not mention your name. If we mention your name, it's because of those utterances that you made. But we never knew that by osmosis, bed sheets, mattresses, that statement is with DCI, whom they were bought for. Mr. Deputy President, look for those guys who were taken at DCI. For us, we are very small. We are as poor as church mouse. So we have nothing to fight the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. Nothing. We don't have, above all, I am your friend. I came to save you. I saved you from Murukomen, who wrote 42 pages through ICC Chief Prosecutor, witness OTP 500. I don't want to say the other thing. And a courier who brought witnesses. Remember, when you strike a friend who strikes you, leave tears. in your heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our viewers. We see you here at 11 for another show. For now, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Peace must be our goal and our guide.